Hi everyone, welcome back to Carnivore Revival. I'm Emily, and today's episode is going to be about discussing how I started my keto journey and what exactly I ate, how the transition was for me, and how exactly I went about that being a type 1 diabetic. For those of you that haven't watched the first episode, I'm Emily. I am a carnivore recently, since January of this year. I also happen to be a type 1 diabetic since 1991, and for decades following the American Diabetes Association guidelines, my blood sugars were completely out of control. That being said, I have tons of long-term complications due to that. So Carnivore is reversing all of those symptoms. Keto, I started in 2020. For me, the keto diet began kind of as an experiment I was going to do on myself just to see how it was going to go, how I was going to manage my blood sugars better. And for me, the key was the day I started keto, I cut back on my insulin. I did go to my endocrinologist and ask them, have you heard anything? Have you had patients that have had a lot of success? And they basically said, no, our patients really aren't doing well. They haven't had much success on that, but give it a go if you want to. Within 90 days, my blood sugars had went from an A1C in the 10s and 11s to in the 6s. My endocrinologist was shocked and asked me what I was doing, what I was eating. I told her about it, but she kind of poo-pooed it until she looked at my results again and said, no, those are accurate. Your blood sugars are much better controlled. So what do I eat on a keto diet is what most people ask me first off when they hear about a keto diet. For me, the main thing is I want to keep it simple and you stay away from carbohydrates. So my day-to-day diet when I was doing keto was in the morning I might have an egg or two, a piece of bacon. In the afternoons, normally around 4 or 5 is when I would eat dinner, is what we call it. Although it's very early, it's like the early bird special dinner. And I would have a salad with chicken sauteed, or I would have a protein source of some with a vegetable, low carb vegetable, broccoli or asparagus. And I would snack a lot in the evenings on, I love olives. So I would eat olives, a lot of cheese, a lot of sausages, a lot of meats. And for me, because of my type 1 diabetes, I was in kidney failure. My EGFR, which is your filtration rate, was 14 when I started the keto diet. So, needless to say, the keto diet and intermittent fasting has regenerated my kidney function, which now it's up to 30, which is basically doubling my kidney function. But the number one question is, did you get the keto flu? How soon is it after till you get energy? For me, because I went like straight from the SAD diet, the standard American diet, to keto like overnight. I just completely cut out every carbohydrate. I felt horrible for the first 10 days. I had what you call keto flu. And that's basically where your body, your metabolism is trying to become what they call fat adaptive, to where instead of burning carbohydrates for fuel, I started burning fat as fuel. It took me about 10 days to get over that hump of becoming fat adaptive. For those that are starting out right now, I would suggest do it not like me. I would do it slowly. I would first cut out like all white flours, all starchy vegetables like potatoes and rice and corn. Do it in stages. Next, I would probably cut out ultra processed foods, anything that's, more than 20 grams to 30 grams of carbohydrate per serving, I would cut out. Everybody has a different number of carbohydrates of grams that they prefer, that they feel better on. For me, to get into ketosis, I kept it below 20 grams, which is like really restrictive. Some people do well around 75. if somebody tells you they know that number, like I know what's good for you, they don't know what they're talking about. Your body will tell you what's good for you. You're going to know when you start feeling more energy. For me, it was day 11. What really helped me make that transition was MCT oil. And I started putting it in my coffee. I started really ramping up my fat intake. And once I did that, I felt a world better. But I am not a doctor. I am not medical advice. I just happen to be a person that's had a lot of health issues. So I decided to make myself an experiment. So I would talk to your doctor under their supervision. If you are a diabetic or you know a diabetic that's on insulin sensitizing agents or takes insulin to control their blood sugars, do not do this without consulting your doctor, because your medications, whether it be insulin or metformin or whatever you're on, is really going to have to be reduced so you don't have low blood sugars. And that's critical. You have got to cut down your medication while you cut back your carbs. Myself, I'm on 80% less insulin now than before. I've lost 70 pounds. I'm off numerous of my medications. I feel so much better. But just so you know, I'm not a doctor, and this is not medical advice. You need to talk to your medical provider, and if they're not supportive, maybe find a different medical provider, because this, I'm telling you, will change your life. You're going to have more energy. You're going to feel better. But yeah, that's how I started keto. I did it hardcore for the first 10 days. It felt like I had the flu. Day 11, I started feeling much better and got off the roller coaster. So I hope that this video can bring you some hope and some help and some healing. Bye for now.